Good evening from Sill Arena at the Heritage Sports Complex in downtown Duluth, Minnesota for tonight's game between the Denfeld Hunters and your Pere Voyageurs. Tonight's game is brought to you by Load Shop. Do you want full visibility into freight rates and to cut out the high broker rates? Sign up for Load Shop at www.loadshop.com. Welcome to Trucking with Transparency. Welcome to Load Shop. Merry Christmas and welcome to tonight's broadcast, Voyager broadcast from Duluth, Minnesota. My name is Kurt Foth, and I'll be bringing the call to you here this evening. We're just getting the Zamboni off the ice. The Pere Voyageurs at 5-2, taking on the Denfeld Hunters with a record of 5-2 also. De Pere coming off last weekend's 2-win weekend. A close, tight game, rough-fought game against Sheboygan. And also a 9-4 win over Appleton United. Talking with John Koppel, we have a 5-game stretch here that's going to be difficult for the Voyageurs. We got 3 games against Minnesota teams up here in Duluth. And we're going to come back home right after the new year and take on the currently number 5 ranked Neenah Rockets. And then followed that up on Saturday, taking on the number 1 ranked team in the state of Wisconsin, the Notre Dame Tritons. But enough said about that for the time being, as we're going to get going here in just a few minutes with the Denfeld Hunters game. We have about 4 or 5 minutes to go before drop of puck, but I wanted to get you all up in line and ready to go for the drop of the puck. We will be back in just a few minutes with the starting lineups, and we will go from there. Again, this is Kurt Foth bringing you the De Pere Voyager hockey from Sill Arena at the Heritage Sports Complex in Duluth, Minnesota.
So is the problem with the sound? Oh, really? Thanks to your Alex. Oh, I was supposed to do that all along, huh?
Well, I actually.
I do? Why is that? Oh, for buying stuff?
We have to double plug in.
It's a learning process.
Good evening and Merry Christmas once again from Sill Arena at the Heritage Sports Complex in Duluth, Minnesota for tonight's high school hockey game between the Denfeld Hunters and your Pere Voyageurs. Pere coming off of 2 big wins last weekend, right before Christmas break, against the Sheboygan Red Raider team, very tough team. Always plays Pere well. And an Appleton United win, 9-4 win over Appleton last Saturday night. My name is Kurt Foth, and I'll be bringing you the call here this evening. Tonight's game, again, is brought to you by Load Shop. Do you want full visibility into freight rates and to cut out the high broker rates? Sign up for Load Shop at loadshop.com. Welcome to Trucking with Transparency. Welcome to Load Shop. As the refs are taking the ice, we'll be getting you down to the public address here shortly, right before game time. Looking forward to this game. Tough 5-game stretch for the Voyageurs, starting out with a good Denfeld team from Duluth, Minnesota. 5-2 in their own right, just like the Voyageurs are. 5-2 Voyageurs, 5-2 Denfeld. And here come the Voyageurs out onto the ice for tonight's game. Beautiful arena here, Sill Arena, beautiful place. Ready to get the puck dropped here in just a few minutes. Voyageurs in their away blacks. Denfeld will be in white tonight. Here we go, Voyageurs getting ready for the public address and the starting lineups here. Still waiting for the Denfeld Hunters to come out onto the ice. And we'll get you down to public address here shortly. Much anticipated game for the Voyageurs. Tough 5-game stretch with 3 games against Minnesota teams up here in Duluth, Minnesota this weekend. 1 tonight against Denfeld. Depending upon how they do tonight, they'll play tomorrow, and then once again on Saturday before heading home for the rest of the holidays. And here comes Denfeld out onto the ice, coming back right after the new year. The Voyageurs will end up taking on the current number 5 ranked in the state of Wisconsin, Neenah Rockets, followed by Saturday night against the number 1 ranked team in Wisconsin, the Notre Dame Tritons. And we're going to go ahead and get it down to the public address right now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Heritage Sports Center in the 2019 SSL Heritage Holiday Hockey Classic. Tonight's 4th and final game matches the Pere Voyageurs against the Duluth Denfeld Hunters. And now here are the starting lineups for tonight's game. First for the Voyageurs, Pere, Wisconsin. In goal, number 1, Seeker J. Winter. On defense, number 2, Seeker Brett Hansen. On defense, number 7, sophomore Tommy Hernandez. Starting in center for the Voyageurs, number 9, sophomore Tanner Wilson. This week was number 13, junior Charlie Ayers. And number 16, junior Brady Hopple. And coach of the Voyageurs, John Hopple. And now here's the starting lineup of the Hunters of Denfeld High School. In senior Sean Easton. Starting at defense, number 15, senior Evan Trophy. On defense, number 28, senior Chase Anderson. Starting at center for the Hunters, wearing number 16, senior Denfeld. This is number 10, junior Nate Norton. Number 18, sophomore Hunter Fuller. Head coach of the Hunters, Dale J. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please stand and honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
And here we go with the starting lineups for Denfeld. In goal, Easty. On defense, Anderson and Jopi. Front line of Burke, McClure, and Lahette. John Koppel is going to be countering with Jay Wenger in goal. Tommy Vandalist and Brett Panzier on defense. Charlie Eggers and Grady Koppel at the wings. And Tanner Newton starting out in center. And we'll be getting going here momentarily as the crowd continues to file in here at Sill Arena in Duluth, Minnesota. Again, my name is Kurt Foth. I'm going to be bringing you the play-by-play here this evening for tonight's De Pere Voyager varsity game between the Hunters of Denfeld and the Voyageurs of De Pere. Referees checking, making sure everybody's ready, and here we go. Drop of the puck. And the Voyageurs will come away with it with Van List crossing, driving it deep into the far corner. Denfeld back to pick it up. Voyageurs. Capo keeping it in. Controlling down in the far corner. Shot from the goal line. No, not there. Eggers trying to bump it in. Not there. Capo picks it up in the near corner. Van List back deep into the far corner. Eggers down there to pick it up. Coming around to the near side. Two guys on the puck. Eggers keeping it deep. Newton picks it up. Can't get it out in front of Blaha. Blaha back in the corner, back, sends it back behind the net, and the Voyageurs are going to get the last two changed out. Here comes Denfeld up over the middle. Can't control that pass, and then knocked back up into the Voyager bench, and we'll have a face-off on the outside of the Voyager zone. Good start for the Voyageurs. Quick start. Actually going to have the face-off at center ice. Good start in the first 52 seconds of this game. Voyageurs putting on a little bit of pressure. Drop of the puck. Denfeld controls but can't keep it in there. Klein on the forecheck. Klein trying to get it deep. Mason Paul back behind the net. Can't control. Here comes Denfeld out. Denfeld first time into the Voyageurs zone. Tries to shoot it. Nice play by Vandenberg. Vandenberg coming up. Takes a shot on net. Saved by the Hunter goalie. Denfeld back behind the net. Breaking it out the far side. Can't control the pass. And here comes an icing call on Denfeld. That icing is brought to you by River City Ice. John Koppel coming out with his third line of Dose, Calawerts, and Borseth on the front line. Tridaba and Foth on the back line. We got a 2-on-1 coming the other way. Shot saved by Wenger. Big save by Wenger on an early shot. Foth back behind the net, chips it back around. Nobody back to get it. Here comes Tridaba back around, chips it back out. Dose can't get it out. Calawerts can't get it out, and Denfeld holds it in. Denfeld coming to the middle. Nice poke check there. Shot. Foth with a redirect, keeping it off of Wenger. There's Borseth. Calawerts finally does get it out, and here's Dose. Dose a 1-on-4 all by himself. Shot on goal, save. Denfeld coming back the other way. Koppel can't control. Panzier does. Charlie Eggers chips it out. That's going to be an icing on to Pere. Have a face-off on the stick side, the right side of Jay Wenger. That icing again brought to you by River City Ice. Face off again to the right of Wenger, controlled by Denfeld. Back behind the net, Panzier chasing. Can't get it out. Newton controls. Can't get it out, and there we go. Koppel back in the corner. Koppel fighting, getting it back, drops it. Panzier shoots it up to Vandelis. Vandelis trying to bring it out. Chips, can't. Denfeld can't keep it in. Eggers drives it deep into the corner. Newton on the chase. Back behind the net. Here comes Denfeld back out again. Crossing the blue line, crossing center, and drives it deep on net. Wenger with the just poke checks that away. Panzier back behind the net out to Koppel. Koppel chips it up to Eggers a little bit too far. Denfeld coming back. Has room. Good pickup right there on the change. Danny Wagner with a big poke check. Wagner with some speed coming down. He shoots. Saved by the goaltender Eastley. Another shot from behind the net. Doesn't really get there. And here comes Denfeld back the other way. Another good poke check by Vandenberg. Wagner with a big check along the boards, trying to pop it out. Here comes Alec Klein over to Blaha. Blaha's got some speed, but it gets by him. Back into the corner. And here comes Denfeld back the other way again. Back and forth game here so far tonight. Good back check by Mason Paul and Alec Klein right there. Vandenberg trying to come up, shoot, drifts in on net. Goaltender will glove it and set it to the side. Borseth back behind the net, can't control. Gets taken down there. Foth picks it up, going wide, shoots on net, and a save. And we'll have a face-off to the right, the stick side of the Hunters goalie. Good push by the Voyageurs once again. Back and forth game, though. Voyageurs out shooting the Hunters 4-2 at this point. Here comes Denfeld back the other way, controlling it. And we got an offsides on Denfeld. Actually don't think that was an offsides, but referee calls it, and we're good there. With 12:25 left in the first period. It's Denfeld nothing and the De Pere nothing. Denfeld controls, shoots it down deep. Vandalist going back to get it. Gets bumped in, bump check. Out in front. Denfeld shoots it back down to their own end. Good opportunity, just couldn't connect. Denfeld goalie tries to shoot around the net. Newton keeps it in. Denfeld chips it out of the zone. Panzier on the chase going back. We got an ice. An icing by Denfeld, and that will go to the glove side, the left side of the Hunter goalie. Good pace with this game so far tonight. Face off. Denfeld will control back behind the net. Blaha poke check. Comes back the other way. Voyageurs trying to keep it in. Wagner standing up, the Denfeld offensive player. Alec Klein chips it in deep, and the Voyageurs are on the forecheck once again. Wagner can't keep it in, sends it back deep, and the Voyageurs will go after it one more time. Here comes Denfeld back the other way. Gaining access to the zone, Voyageurs will go back deep in their own zone. Wagner chips it back behind the net. Calwertz back behind the net trying to get it out. Wagner can't get it out. Calwertz chipping it up forward. Klein can't get there. And now finally the Voyageurs, Borseth can't get it out. And Denfeld will keep it in. Trying to get it out of the zone. The Voyageurs can't, and it's chipped back in deep on the Voyageurs. Daniel Wagner getting it out to center ice at least and back in deep in the Voyager net, back behind the net one more time. Third line for the Voyageurs trying to get it out. Wagner can't get it broken out. Calwertz over to Vandenberg. Vandenberg chipping it out, gets it back out to center, and Denfeld will come right back in. Wagner back behind, shoots it, and Wagner just iced that puck. They needed to change that defense right there. Here comes Koppel back out with his first line of Koppel, Eggers, and Newton. And he'll go with the defensive Foth and Trittaba. Denfeld controls D to D. Pass. Koppel. Oh, good try, Eggers. Koppel got tied up there. Eggers with a good try. Foth stands him up. Can't get it. Shot, I think that went off of Trittaba, never did get to Jay Wenger. And Denfeld stays with it in the zone. Shot wide. Denfeld putting on a little bit of pressure here on De Pere. And here comes De Pere back the opposite way. Charlie Eggers trying to get up the sideline here. Chips it back around the one defender. Newton gets it. Charlie Eggers trying to go back around the net, gets stood up. Panzier pinching, can't keep it in, can't get it deep. Charlie Eggers picks it up back into the zone one more time. Eggers with a shot, saved by the Hunter goalie. Little bit of good pressure there by the Voyageurs. Have a face-off to the stick side of the Hunter's goalie. With 9:37 left here in the first. There's the drop of the puck, and Denfeld will control again, shoots it around the net. Vandalist keeps it in, and it's stopped. Not sure if it popped out into the Denfeld bench or what happened there. But we will have a face-off. It's going to stay inside the Denfeld defensive zone to the glove side of the Denfeld goalie. And Denfeld will control one more time. The Hunters get it broken out. They will shoot it deep. Kind of a tricky hop out off the boards. Winger can't control. Shot. Blocked out in front. Nice defense by the Voyageurs one more time. Denfeld gets it out to D, sends it back in deep. Vandenberg will get it back behind the net. Blaha tries to get it out to Paul, can't get it out. They finally do get it out to center ice. And Denfeld chips it back into the zone. Denfeld's trying to make a change. Vandenberg with a quick pass up to Blaha. Blaha can't get it deep. And here comes the Hunters back out. Wagner chips it back. Gets it to Calwertz. Calwertz, Blaha with a good poke check there. Alec Klein going to make a change right here. Foth picks it off, going up the far side. He's got a 2-on-3 here, though. Foth taking it back behind the net. Can't get it back to Borseth. Tridiba tries to take the check, misses, and we got a 2-on-1 back the other way for Delafield. Shot saved by Wenger. Blocked puck out in front of the net on the second shot. Tridiba tries to get it. Borseth can't. Foth goes back behind the net. And here we go back the other way. Foth bringing it up. Shoots it. Off the defender. Can't get it deep. Calwertz is there. Shot on goal. Save. There's a blocked puck out in front again. Tridiba getting it up. Capo can't control. Shot wide on the De Pere goalie. Tridiba back behind the net. Foth goes back and gets it. Trying to break it out again. Gets it up to Charlie Eggers. Gets it out of the zone. Delafield back in deep. Tridiba back to pick it up. Tries to shoot it up hard. The Capo can't. That's off the goalie. Capo back in to get it. We get a change on defense. Vandalist and Panzier out. First line for the Voyageurs with Eggers, Capo, and Newton. Charlie Eggers keeps it in deep. Eggers back behind the net. Loses control of the puck. Denfeld back in control again. Little poke check there. Eggers picks it up at center ice. Takes it right back in the zone. We got a penalty coming on Denfeld. Actually, we're going to have a penalty on Charlie Eggers for holding. Not exactly sure what the referee was seeing there. So we'll have a 2-minute minor penalty coming on the Voyageurs at the 6:48 with 6:48 left in the first period. Looked actually like Charlie Eggers got taken down with a trip there, but the referee saw it and called a holding on Charlie. Denfeld does control in the Voyager zone. Have a little bit of a parachute set up here. Off the crossbar and out off the ice, we're going to go. I believe it's going to stay inside the Voyager defensive zone to the glove side of Jay Wenger. At 6:38, it's still the Denfeld Hunters 0 and the De Pere Voyageurs nothing. Denfeld controls again on the power play. The one-man advantage. Denfeld back and forth on the glove side of Wenger. Walking in is Denfeld. Poke check. Shot on goal. Saved by Wenger. Big save right there. As the Denfeld power play does get to the net. Wenger coming up big right there. 1:35 left in the penalty kill for the Voyageurs. Voyageurs do control. Wagner gets it out. Alec Klein on the chase. Goaltender chips it out. And now we got the Hunters coming back the other way. Hunters back behind their Voyager net. Shoots it back out to D to D. Back cross ice into the far corner. Denfeld will recover it. Walking in, shot and blocked out front again by Dose. Nice poke check on that shot to get it up and into the netting. And we'll have another face-off, this time to the stick side of Jay Wenger with 1:03 left in the Denfeld power play. Denfeld will control one more time. D to D. There's a shot from point. Wenger with a big save. Going into this, the Voyageurs had Denfeld outshot 7-2. Denfeld with a power play, actually closing the gap. Shots are 7 for the Voyageurs, 5 for the for Denfeld. Shot mounting up here a little bit. Jay Winger hanging tough in the goal. Denfeld is controlling. Shot blocked out front by Daniel Wagner. Don't think he actually knew where that puck went. Back out to the defense again. And they're going to walk in. And Sam Callowitz with a big poke check trying to get it out. Can't get it out. Daniel Wagner will get it out, at least to center ice. Can't get it iced with 26 seconds left in the power play. Denfeld regains the zone, can't get it into the middle. Blocked out there by Vandenberg. Back out to D to D. Defense walking in, over, cross gets it. Shoots it across the crease, does not go in. And there it was, a pass all the way down. Koppel will chase, and that will be the end of the Denfeld power play. Koppel gains control, can't keep onto it. Tanner Newton picks it up. Going back, tries to get it to Eggers. Eggers back behind the net. Controlling back over to Newton. Newton back out in front. There's a scramble, and it's blocked out in front by the Denfeld goalie. Charlie Eggers tries to get it back in deep, can't. And Denfeld will shoot it down, and that'll be another icing on Denfeld with 4:20 left in the first period. It's the De Pere Voyageurs nothing and the Denfeld Hunters nothing. And we'll have a face-off to the stick side of the Denfeld goalie. Good pressure by the first line for the Voyageurs. Tridabut tries to get back. Tridabut over to Foth. Foth chips it back out a little bit too far from Mason Paul. D to D pass. Blaha trying to hang on. There we go with Blaha. Picks it up behind at center ice. Can't control it. And Denfeld will pick it up and just shoot it out. Got Blaha over in the far corner. D to D. Foth back over to Mason Paul. Can't control the pass. And that'll go for an icing. Icing, and that'll be a face-off on the glove side of Jay Wenger. John Koppel coming back out with his first line of Koppel, Tanner Newton, Charlie Eggers, Vandalist, and Panzier. Denfeld controlling the face-off one more time. Newton gets control of it back behind the net. Can't get it past the defender. Koppel finally gains control. Eggers does get it out of the zone. Eggers on chase. Can't control. And here comes Tanner Newton back the other way. Crosses in. Shot and a save. Couldn't. The Denfeld goalie had a little bit of a trouble with that, but finally does corral it. And with 3:21 left in the first period, it's still a 0-0 game. Well-paced game here so far in the first. And that's got to be a good sign for John Koppel, as his team should be gaining confidence with it. Koppel drops it back in deep. Newton will try and go back and get it. And here comes Denfeld back the other way. Gains control. Crossing, good poke check by Panzier, and then a save by Jay Wenger. And here comes Charlie Eggers trying to kick it out. No icing on that. Koppel will try and go back behind the net to get it. Can't control back behind the net as the Voyageurs were trying to make a change. Panzier cuts it off, and we got a 2-on-1 back the other way. And big save by Joe Wenger on a close-up shot, in-tight shot. And the Voyageurs do get it out right there. Denfeld backing up into their own zone, spin out. And they'll drive it in deep. Panzier back to get it back behind the net, and the Hunters are changing. Panzier up to Borseth. Borseth chips it in deep, and the Voyageurs will chase. Third line for the Voyageurs. Borseth misses the check. Callowitz picks it up. Misses, kind of whiffs on the shot, and here comes Denfeld back the opposite way. Foth trying to sweep, puts a body on him. Nice sweep by Foth. Coming back the other way, and Tridable will ice the puck right there. Not sure where he was trying to go with that, but it was an icing on the pier, and we'll have a face-off with 2:07 left in the first period. We'll have a face-off to the stick side of Jay Wenger. Face-off, Denfeld controls. Probably the one thing that we got that's going to be troubling for Koppel here as he goes into the second period, or the intermission in between the first and second. Got to start winning some face-off. Daniel Wagner crossing over. Stop, shoots high and outside. Goes off the butt end of the goalie's stick. Denfeld coming back. Vandenberg will just chip it back out. And then he goes back in deep into the Voyager zone. Back out. Blaha gaining control. Shot off the top of the glove. And I don't think that one would have went in, even if it wouldn't have went off the top of the glove. Denfeld back behind the net. Klein chipping it back behind the net one more time. Voyagers are trying to make a change. Wagner tries to keep it in. Charlie Eggers getting it back into the zone. Can't keep it in there, though. Denfeld comes back, and we should have an ice there, but no icing called. Vandenberg shoots it up. We got 1 minute left in the first period. Denfeld back behind the net. Eggers can't control. Koppel trying to get there on the other side. Eggers trying to get there. Panzier can't get there. Vandelis chips it back out. That would have been a 2-on-1 back the other way with 45 seconds left in the first period. Here comes Denfeld back in one more time. Vandelis with a poke check, gets it out temporarily away from the Denfeld attacker. Denfeld recovers back behind the net. And here come the Voyagers back the other way. Panzier up to Eggers. Eggers and Panzier on the rush. Eggers gets taken off the puck. Panzier takes the Hunter off the puck with 20 left in the period. Vandalist holding. Back over to Koppel, over to Panzier. Panzier gets a poke checked away. Denfeld does get it out with 5 left in the period. And that will end the period right there at the end of 1. It's the Denfeld Hunters 0 and the De Pere Voyageurs 0. A good, well-paced first period for the Voyageurs. At the end of 1, from Sill Arena in Duluth, Minnesota, it's the De Pere Voyageurs 0 and the Denfeld Hunters 0. For the Voyageurs, they had 9 shots on goal in the first period. For the Hunters, they had 7 shots on goal. And we're going to just put the mic down here for a little bit and let you listen to the sounds of this beautiful rink up here in Duluth, Minnesota. Merry Christmas once again from Sill Arena in Duluth, Minnesota. Beautiful arena here. My name is Kurt Foth. As we're about to start the second period, along with me, I'm joined by Brett Thom.
How you doing, Kurt?
Good, how are you?
I'm awesome.
Heard we had an exciting game on the JV side.
We did. We had a close one over there. Duluth started out quick. They scored 2 goals in the first period to take a 2-0 lead, and then De Pere fought back the rest of the game. We got a goal in the third from Luca Geminani that got it to 2-1. Pulled the goalie in the last minute. Luca had another shot that went off the goalie's stick, so it was pretty darn close and exciting finish. But came up just a little bit short. Good test for the boys, though. Get a little bit stiffer competition over here, I think.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that, and I think John Capo knew that that's what he was going to get coming over to Duluth, Minnesota, and playing at least one, if not 3, Minnesota teams. Had a chance to talk to John right before I came back on the air. Likes the way the Voyager varsity is playing so far. Does think they're going to need to go and try and get down deep and then bring it back out top. Try and use some of the aggressiveness of the Denfeld Hunter team against them. Have about 2.5 minutes to go here. What time are the JV boys playing tomorrow then, Brett?
Tell you the truth, I'm not 100% certain. I'll have to take a look and get back to you on that.
Glad you're up to date on that one, Brett. Thanks, I appreciate that. Again, if you're just joining us, we're in the first intermission between period 1 and 2. It's the Denfeld Hunters 0, the De Pere Voyageurs 0. Good game here, fast-paced game. Well played game so far. We've had 1 penalty, 1 on the Voyageurs, a 2-minute minor for holding. The Voyageurs are out shooting the Hunters 9-7 through 1 period. Jay Winger coming up big on a couple of close-in shots.
I do have an update for you if you want that.
Yeah,
JV time.
absolutely.
So JV will play tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. and probably have the loser of that other game already, but I don't have a bracket in front of me, so I don't know who we're playing either. So I'm a little low on information for you here, Kurt.
Yeah. Thanks for the update.
Yeah.
It was a heck of a drive up here today. Beautiful drive, actually. Saw some snowmobilers. You have a little snow up here in Duluth, and actually all the way up from the Chippewa Falls area.
Yeah, a little bit more than what we have at home, that's for sure. I think we're supposed to get rain this weekend back home, a couple inches of rain. So what little snow we have left will soon be gone.
And a minute left before the start of the second period. The referees are coming back out of the locker room and should be hitting the ice shortly. And here's one goes, and the linesman and the other referee heading out to the ice.
So anybody we have watching tonight can actually hear us now, I understand, huh?
They can actually hear us. In fact, I was told that I had to move the mic away from my mouth tonight.
That's probably generally the case anyway, right?
Yeah, I'm never sure why people want to give me microphones, to be honest with you, Brett. But we are good to go, and just so you're aware, since you weren't here, if I am too loud in your ear, you can just take that one, turn it down a little bit, and it'll cut some of that volume down for you.
Yeah,
Voyageurs.
Not on my nerves yet, so it must be fine.
Voyageurs coming out to take the ice. And here comes Denfeld out also. And we'll be getting ready to get started here momentarily with your second period from Sill Arena in beautiful Duluth, Minnesota. Tonight's game is brought to you by Load Shop. Do you want full visibility into freight rates and to cut out the high broker rates? Sign up for Load Shop at www.loadshop.com. Welcome to Trucking with Transparency. Welcome to Load Shop. Again, if you're just joining us, we're about to start the second period between the Denfeld Hunters and your De Pere Voyageurs. A 0-0 game going into the second period. The Voyageurs are out shooting them through 9-7, but have still come up with an egg on the big number. Referees trying to get everything packed down by the De Pere goalie. Get the net back in place so it's going to stay sturdy down there. Looks like they have it all set, and we should be ready to go. Voyageurs, John Koppel, head coach for the Voyageurs, starting out with their starting lineup for tonight. Of Vandalist and Panzer on defense. Koppel, Eggers, and Newton, and the Voyageurs almost had control of it. Hunters getting it in deep. Tanner Newton picking it up, chips it up to Charlie Eggers, and the Voyageurs will come back the far side. Tries to get it in deep, can't. Here come the Denfeld, shoots it in deep, back behind Wenger, all the way around. Vandalist can't get there, does keep it in out deep, out top. Here comes Denfeld with a shot and a goal! Quick start for Denfeld.
Yeah, he just walked the defenseman back to the net there and kind of ran out of real estate for the defense that time.
With 16:30 left in the second period, Denfeld does take a 1-0 lead. And the Voyageurs will try and regroup. Koppel sending out his second line, and Denfeld controls. Go D to D. Mason Paul trying to pick it up. Blaha can't control. Back to Mason Paul. Back over to Alec Klein. Klein will chip it in deep, and the Voyageurs are on the chase. Mason Paul on the puck. Can't control. Alec Klein can't keep it in. Denfeld tries to chip it out. Can't. Denfeld back behind the net. And here come the Hunters out one more time. Chips it out to center ice, and the Voyageurs will try and regroup. Blaha can't control, over to Klein. Klein gets it out. Danny Wagner flying up the far side. Blaha can't get there. Alec Klein can't get it in deep, and here come Denfeld back one more time. Shot wide of the De Pere goalie. Another shot blocked out front by Vandenberg. Alec Klein chips it out in front, can't get it out. Wagner shoots it back behind the net. Denfeld tries the center, gets it all the way, comes all the way down. And here come a couple of change. Foth with a big check to keep the shot off of Wagner. Tredeba tries to get it out, can't. Back to Tredeba again, can't get it out. Tredeba picks it back up, shoots it back out to the blue line. Coming back in, Tredeba picks it up, and if he turns on the Jets, he can get around anybody. Tredeba's shot, save. Tie up in the corner, Tredeba can't control. Foth can't keep it out. Panzer back to pick it up. Denfeld will control. Back in the corner, Foth trying to keep him out front. Gets it back in. Denfeld gets it back in deep. Tredeba picks it up. Gets it cross ice out of the zone. Denfeld picks it up and shoots it back in deep. Foth back behind the net. Picking it up off the boards. Tredeba can't control. And we'll have an icing on the Voyageurs. That icing brought to you by River City Ice. And we'll have a face-off to the stick side of Voyager goalie Jay Wenger. Denfeld putting on some pressure here, Brett.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could hold the zone a little bit longer and have a few more opportunities down our end here.
Did you happen to get who scored that goal, by the way?
Did not, no.
Wagner can't control out front. He gets stood up. Denfeld back the other way. Vandalist can't keep it in. Capo going back. Tripped up. No call on the play around Newton. And across. Big save by Wenger. Voyageurs trying to get out, finally do get it out, and Denfeld shoots it back in deep. D-to-D pass back behind the Voyager net. The Voyageurs do get it out. Not for long as Denfeld shoots it back in deep again. Wagner back to get it. And up to Charlie Eggers. Poke checked away from Eggers. Little bit sloppy here to start the second period for the Voyageurs. Charlie Eggers trying to control. Finally does control. Can't get it out of the zone. Good defensive poke check by the Hunters. Here comes Denfeld once again, shooting it back in deep behind the Voyager net. Back out front, poke checked away by Vandalis. Vandalis trying to get it, just throws it out of the zone. Denfeld regroups. Voyageurs trying to get a change here. They have their first line out. Vandalis stands up. One of the Denfeld players comes across, saved by Jay Wenger. And I think the Voyageurs need to get a change here on defense, Brett.
That icing will help, give them an opportunity to make those changes. Jay Winger keeping them in the game here these last couple of minutes with a couple of crucial saves, including that point-blank shot from 44, Dominic Brennan for Duluth.
Face-off coming to the glove side of Jay Wenger. And Denfeld will back behind the Voyager net, and the Voyageurs finally do gain control. Mason Paul back in the corner, can't get it out. Blaha shoots it back out in front, saved by Jay Wenger one more time. Panzier with a good poke check. Alec Klein can't get it out. And Denfeld is just putting on the pressure to the Voyageurs right now. Panzier back behind the net. Changes directions, shoots it out. Alec Klein can't get it out again. There we go. Mason Paul struggling to get it out. Big hit on Mason Paul right there without the puck around him. David Vandenberg tries to chip it out and does. Out to center ice, but here Denfeld gets it back in deep one more time. Up to Calwertz. Calwertz chips it up ahead and on the rush. Back behind the net. Calwertz with a good play back behind the net. And Denfeld finally gets control. Grant Triddleman with a big hit. Borsath keeps it in deep. They can't keep it in. Calwertz back to fourth. Gets it up to Dose. Dose up to Borsath, can't get there. Calwertz will go back and pick it up. Third line trying to get it out. Back D to D, misses the pass. And now we're caught in the zone one more time. Denfeld back out to the defense. Defense back in. Scrambling across over to the far side defense. Back out in front. Shot and a blocked shot out in front by Calwertz. Big play right there. Dose shoots it in deep on goal. Save, and the goalie for the Hunters will cover it up. And with 10:25 left in the second period, it's the Denfeld Hunters 1, the De Pere Voyageurs 0.
And again, a lot of nice saves by Jay Wenger there in that last stretch, keeping Voyageurs close.
They'll get Capo right there for moving on the face-off. Charlie Eggers will take the center on this one. Voyageurs have to start winning. Shot and a save. Good play right off the face-off right there by Eggers and Capo with a shot on goal. And the Voyageurs do keep it in. Eggers shoots it back in deep, back behind the Hunter goal. Newton can't control. In deep, and the Hunters will just ice the puck right there. Good pressure by the Voyageurs. That's the first time in the second period, Brett.
Yeah, it's nice to see that finally, and this line seems to have a feel for each other. Eggers, Newton, and Campos seem to work well together, so hopefully we can get a little bit more of that and a couple more shots on goal here. Shots are actually even, 12-12 right now.
The Hunters are actually countering with their first line. And for some reason they're pulling out the Voyager centerman again, and Eggers will take the draw. Eggers tries to shoot it in deep, wraps around by the Hunters. They do get it out. We got a 2-on-1 back the other way. And there's a big shot and a save by Jay Wenger once again. Big time save right there. As the Hunter captain put a stop and moved to center ice to get a good angle on Jay Wenger, but he was bigger than the shot right there. Face off to the glove side of the De Pere goalie. Shot and blocked out front by Mason Paul. And poke check by Vandenberg. We got a 2-on-2 coming back the other way if they hurry. Blaha can't get control of it. And here come the Hunters back the other way. Hunters regrouping as they were off sides. Shot in deep. Wagner back to get it. Shoots it back around the net. No one home. Back out to their defense. And now the Voyageurs scrambling a little bit one more time. Denfeld back behind the Voyager net. Coming back out. Crossing. Here comes Alec Klein down center ice. He's just going to chip it in deep and chase. Does get to the puck, but can't control, and Denfeld will control back behind the net. Blaha picks it up back. Nice play right there. Shot! Goal! Grant Shredaba to Peter Blaha. And with 8:48 left in the second period, the Voyageurs have tied it up.
That was a pretty nice shot by Peter there. He found a little opening there on the blocker side in between the pipe and the blocker and just snuck it in there.
Peter Blaha with a big near side shot. Not sure he had much, but he did get in there, and that's all that matters. And with 8:48 left, it's the Voyageurs won and the Hunters won. Voyageurs coming back out with their third line. The Hunters shoot it in back and around deep. Foth back to get it. Dose tries to chip it out. Tridaba can't get it, and now they come up, and once again, Jay Wenger with a big save. Glove save right there.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Kurt, it'd be nice if we didn't have quite so much pressure on Jay right now. He's definitely keeping us in this game. It'd be a little more advantageous if we could get it out of the zone.
Little sloppy on the breakout right there. They put the shot on him. Not a great shot, but it was there. Another save by Wenger. And here come the Voyageurs chipping it out. Charlie Eggers. The Hunters will send it back in deep. Vandelis over to Foth. A little bit off on the pass. Capo does pick it up. Gets it back behind the net, off the net. Charlie Eggers picks it up out front, and they will get it out right there. D to D by the Hunters, and they'll chip it back in. Wenger, not a good play by Jay Wenger right there. Got to have some better communication here. And a big save right there. Off the side of the net. Voyager scrambling one more time. Tried to get it out to Capo. Can't do it. Shot and a goal.
Yeah, it just seems like that was kind of inevitable here for the last couple minutes, didn't it?
We really did. He had a bad pass that was picked off at center ice. Walked right down the middle. Put one on Jay Wenger and beat him to the stick side. And with 7:40, the Hunters regain the lead here in the second period. Voyageurs trying to keep control in their own zone. Shot by Wenger, or Panzer, excuse me, just wide. Here come the Hunters back the other way. That's a shot wide, and the Hunters will control in the Voyager zone. Back behind the Voyager zone, Panzer stood up. Referee a little bit in the way. Alec Lane chips it out. Here comes Mason Paul. Finally gets it in deep. Back behind the Hunter net, and the Voyageurs will chase. Back outside, Foth will regroup. Loses control of the puck back behind the net. Drops it. Back behind the net. Here he comes one more time. They do stop it out front. Big shot, big save by Wenger. Tredeba back behind the net. Dose can't control. Another shot on Wenger. He'll hang on to that one. And with 6:19 left in the second period, the Hunters are putting the pressure on the Voyageurs right now.
Yeah, their shot total has jumped up on us. We were even after that tying goal by us to make it 1-1. They are ahead 19-13 now in shots with this last little flurry they've had.
Koppel coming back out with his first line. Little different defensive look. Nice play back out in front by the Hunters. They are scrambling. Voyageurs are scrambling back out to center. Grady Koppel gets tripped up, no call. Charlie Eggers can't get it. Daniel Wagner back, tries to get it across, shot! And a save by Wenger one more time back across the crease, and here comes Charlie Eggers back the far side. Charlie Eggers coming across, hard poke checked away from Eggers. He recollects it, can't control it out in front, and here come the Hunters back. 3-on-2 the other way. Wagner trying to control. Wagner finally does pick it up, and the Voyageurs will have a chance here going the other way. Wagner with a shot. It's wide. Koppel down to pick it up. Can't keep it in. Eggers just flips it on goal, and the Hunter goalie will cover that one up. And with 5:20 left in the second period, it's the Hunters 2, the Voyageurs 1. Face off once again to the stick side of the Hunters. Blaha makes a good check but can't keep it in. Tredeba keeps it in. Alec Klein tries to get over to Blaha, picked off by the Hunters. Klein, nice poke check back to Tredeba, can't. Oh, big shot by Blaha. The head just wide. Vandalis tries to get it on net, can't, and here come the Hunters. Panzer gets back in deep, back behind the Hunters goal. And here come the Hunters back the other way. Hunters drive it in deep. Panzer back to pick it up. Hunters are going to try and change. They got Klein on the far side. Klein and Blaha. Drops it back to Blaha, can't control. Tredeba does. Tredeba back to Blaha, big save out front. Nice redirect by Blaha. Probably the second best pressure of the night, and definitely in the second period for the Voyageurs. Vandenberg chipping it away nicely. Shoots it up, and we got a breakaway with Dose. Shot! Wide. Big time opportunity right there for Jack Dose. Another shot by Tredeba. Wrapping it around. Vandenberg, we got one-on-one back the opposite way. Drops it up. Blocked out in front by Calwertz. Good back check. Borsev trying to chip it away. Wagner back behind the net. Keeps it alive. Gets it out. Here comes Calwertz down the near side. Over to Jack Dose. Jack Dose will try and get it deep. Can't. Blocked out front. Hunters do get it out. And here they come back the other way. 1-on-2. Bow 2-on-2. Good poke check by Vandenberg. Keeps it away, back out to their defense. Puts it back in deep. Almost a high stick there. Wagner back behind. And here's Dose, just shoots it out off the defender. Will not be an icing. The Voyageurs are going to try and get a change here. They get a couple changed here. And we got Koppel, Eggers, Calwertz. Here comes Calwertz to make the change. Koppel gains his own. Charlie Eggers with a shot. Blocked out front. Kicked over to Tanner Newton. Newton, shot blocked up and off the netting, back behind the Hunter goalie, and with 2:57 left, some more good pressure by the Voyageurs, but we got to get more, Brett.
Absolutely. We are inching up on them in shots, but at least puck's staying down on our end here for a little while, which is a little helpful to Jay down there.
Shots are good, but that's not what wins it on the scoreboard. Voyageurs trying to collect in again, chip it out, and we got a 2-on, 3-on-2 coming back the opposite way. Coppa will pick up the third out in front. Good play by Brett Panzier back behind, standing up the attacker for the Hunters. And Charlie Eggers had a chance to get Coppa out. Foth back behind the net to pick it up. Nice outlet pass to Eggers. Eggers chipping it in deep. And the Voyageurs will get a little bit of a change. Blaha back to pick it up. Panzier will stop it out in front temporarily. The Hunters will regroup it. And here come the Hunters' first line against the Voyageurs. Chipped in deep. Puck race. Foth wins that one temporarily, but the Hunters do control back behind the net. Hunters come back out in front. Shot blocked out in front by Foth. Hunters regain back behind the net. Another nice stop back out in front. Getting it across. Little trip up on the Hunter defender. No call. Foth trying to get it in the corner. Can't gain control of it. The Voyageurs trying to pick up the puck here and get it out of their own zone. Back behind the Voyager net, and there's a big shine save right there by Jay Wenger. Does get through, but Trittaba back to pick up. And now we got Mason. Mason Paul almost had the breakaway. Here comes Trittaba. Trittaba and Blaha. Shot! Score! Grant Trittaba with a big-time wrister from the right face-off circle to even this one up with 1:25 left in the second period. That's going to go Trittaba from Mason Paul, I believe. But no matter how they're going to score that one, it's still the Voyageurs 2 and the Hunters 2 with 1:25 left in the second period.
It's been kind of a nice change of events here in the second half of this period. It's been all Duluth first half, and the Piers definitely picked it up in the second half of this period. Definitely an evenly matched game.
Capo shoots that one in deep. Charlie Eggers with a drive, played, knocked aside by the Denfeld goalie. They're going to ice it back down the ice. That will be an icing on Denfeld. It'll come back to the stick side of the Denfeld Hunter goalie. That icing is brought to you by River City Ice. If you want your drinks cold, get River City Ice, folks. Charlie Eggers taking face-off to the right side. Can't control the face-off. Back behind the net is Denfeld. Vandelis trying to gain back behind the net again. Voyageurs playing much better right here, and Denfeld has to ice it one more time with 58.4 seconds left in the second period. Voyageurs getting better and better pressure here, folks.
I think that's what Capo was looking for coming over here. He wanted us to face some of these teams that maybe are skating a little bit harder than what we're used to seeing, and we're definitely starting to match their pace.
It's been a good game here so far, folks. Face off to the stick side once again of the Denfeld goalie. Blaha tries to center out in front. Shot and a save by the Denfeld goalie. A good opportunity for Alec Klein. He does keep it in. Shoots it over to Blaha. Blaha uses his body well to try and knock that puck down. Denfeld does get it out. Panzier just shoots it back to the blue line. But here comes Denfeld one more time. Nice back check by Klein right there. Daniel Wagner back behind the net. Mason Paul picks it up. Can't control. Shot out in front. Big time save by Wenger. And he'll hang on. Great play right there. Very good play by the Denfeld offensive attackers right there, folks.
Once again, Jay's keeping us in this game. Those were a couple of point-blank opportunities there. Jay's been fighting the puck off very well, seeing it very well tonight. Hopefully that continues.
And with 26.4 seconds left here in the second period, Koppel comes back with his first line, back to Denfeld, does control the faceoff once again. Wagner tries to hold it up right there. Eggers can't control. Wagner will get it back behind with 13 left. Wagner just trying to chip it up and out, but he does send it over the glass. Heads up, folks. No netting along the sidelines here.
Yeah, you want to be paying attention when you're over there. All the bleachers are pretty close to the ice, too. It can get you anywhere.
9.7 seconds left here in the second period. Voyageurs trying to hang on to stay tied here through 2 periods. Wagner takes it back. He's going to try and control back behind the net, and that's going to end the second period here at Sill Arena in Duluth, Minnesota. At the end of 2, it's the Denfeld Hunters 2, the De Pere Voyageurs 2. Shots on goal in the second period for the Voyageurs. They had 9 for a 2-period total of 18. 16 saves by the Denfeld goalie. For the Hunters, they had 16 shots in the second period for a total of 23, 21 saves by Jay Wenger, and he's coming up strong right now, Brett.
Absolutely. Kept us in the game in that period, no question about it. They had a number of point-blank opportunities that Jay fought off very, very well. Right now, we're definitely seeing 2 different teams almost in that period out of the De Pere Voyageurs. The first half of that period looked sloppy. We weren't making good passes, and we weren't able to even get the puck out of the zone. In the second half, we did much better.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, Brett, on that. Voyageurs coming out a little sluggish in the beginning of the second period. On a good note, we're off and running. We're tied up, even at the end of 2 one more time. And we'll go into the third period evened up, and that's a good thing. We're going to take a quick break here from Sill Arena in Duluth, Minnesota. Once again, after 2 periods, it's the Denfeld Hunters 2 and your De Pere Voyageurs 2. And here's the sounds of the rink.
live stream YouTube live. Yeah, it's we had it. Pictures been great. We saw it like playing yesterday. It's live. My wife's back home. She can't be here this weekend. Stuff. Yeah, live. I have a really nice Sunday radio plan. Yeah, it's just you need there's a board and there's it's like a game stream controller. It's another guy who What's my son say? I have one of those. Yeah, the only thing that they had, I had to get it's amplifier. I don't know if you need it in or not, but it's working. I'm not going to try that. And you need a big one of those. Looks like you're going from a box. Yeah, when you get in that box, the mixer in that box, and the box is everything. And we live stream it up. Yeah, they don't allow me to use the Amazon feed. Yeah, well, it's the first time I've actually gotten I messed around with the sound yesterday, but I didn't even really stream anything. So it's I know three for sure. Three for sure. There's Denfeld where so yeah, it's my son in Colorado watching, my wife's watching it, and my other son. Yeah, my son's soccer. They it's just the equipment. So it's I think it costs like $700 to get these new headsets and mixer board. Camera we already have. So then are you the camera guy or what? No, he's my band. They got the managers do it. They're recording it as well as streaming it. I don't know. The coach has something to
So
fix
they'll
it.
save it on, they can watch it. Like, hey, you can watch it.
Oh yeah, we have 2 games out there right now. That's pretty decent.
You know what's in the future.
I mean, I'm not saying any of the kids on your team will do anything at high school, but if somebody wants to watch it. They got a game, every game that
I'll bet you the kids all watch it.
The coach hasn't watched film they've been through this, and I told him straight out, if he's going to watch film off of this, he has to turn around. Because I'm saying, I'm talking about it. I'm doing a lot of talking. Yeah.
Church, who would have thought today?
Yeah. We got a loss. They could barely hear you. So yeah, I heard that adjustments. I made a couple of adjustments. Once we get going, we really should be better. Put it closer. Yeah.
Willie said, "Are you plugged into the amp too?" It is, right?
Merry Christmas and welcome back once again to Sill Arena in beautiful Duluth, Minnesota for tonight's game between the Denfeld Hunters and your Pere Voyageurs. In the middle of the second and third periods, the second intermission, it's the Denfeld Hunters 2, the Pere Voyageurs 2. We got a tie game going into the third period. Looking for a continued exciting game here. 0-0 after one if you're just joining us. 2-2 at the end of two. And we have about a minute and a half left before we get going here in the third period. Once again, tonight's game is brought to you by Load Shop. Do you want full visibility into freight rates and to cut out the high broker rates? Sign up for Load Shop at www.loadshop.com. Welcome to Trucking with Transparency. Welcome to Load Shop. I'm here with Brett Thumb, but he is actually waiting for Coach John Capo to come out to see if John's got any words of wisdom for us before we start the third period. Shots on goal through two periods. It's the Hunters 23. Jay Wenger has 21 saves. For the Pere Voyageurs, they have 18 shots, and Easty has been strong with 16 saves. The Voyageurs are going to have to come out strong here in the second period, or the third period, and match the intensity of the Hunters. And they came back strong in that second period. After they fell behind 1-0, the Voyageurs tied it up. The Hunters took the lead once again to make it 2-1, but the Voyageurs came back with a strong shot by Grant Tritaba. And I think we got Brett Thom back from trying to get some words of wisdom from Coach John Capo as the Voyageurs take the ice.
Yeah, Coach Capo just said they're looking at trying to make a few minor adjustments as they're coming into the zone, doing some exchanging, dropping the puck back, and trying to create a little bit more opportunities. And on the defensive side, just basically being stronger. It's trying to get back out of the zone a little more cleanly than what they had been, and getting the rush going back the right way.
All right, and we're just getting started. The Denfeld Hunters are taking the ice right now, and we'll get started momentarily here from Duluth, Minnesota, with your Voyager broadcast here on YouTube Live. Again, it's the Pere Voyageurs 2 and the Denfeld Hunters 2. Really good game here again tonight. Fast-paced, back-and-forth game. Voyageurs, a 5-2 Voyager team taking on a 5-2 Denfeld Hunters team from Duluth, Minnesota. John Capo is going to start out once again with his top line of Panzier and Vandalist on defense. Capo, Eggers, and Newton on the attack. Looks like Denfeld is going to come out with their top line, their starting line of Anderson, Jopi on the back line, Burke, McClure, and Lahette. Face off, the scrum in the middle. Voyageurs will may control, still a scrum back deep. Panzier finally does control. Panzier over to Vandalist. Vandalist shoots it up the side. Capo tries to chip it deep, can't. Here come the Hunters back. Panzier misses on the sweep. Big shot on goal, and once again, Jay Wenger coming up strong in net. The Hunters another shot on goal. Vandalist back behind the net. Tanner Newton can't pick it up. Back behind the net yet. Charlie Eggers trying to get it. Vandalist lost his stick. The Hunters back behind the net. Puts it out front. Big stop out front by Panzier, not letting it get to Wenger. Shoots it back in deep. And the Voyageurs scrambling here early in the third. Chip back out in front. Can't handle it at the defensive line, and the Hunters will try and regroup. The Hunters pulling up deep. Drop it back deep. Dan Wagner back in behind the net to go get that puck. Wagner trying to get it back out. can't get it out, and here come the Hunters back in one more time. Wenger with another big save. Back behind the net, Wagner finally getting it out, chips it out to Alec Klein. He get it out, and here comes Peter Blaha down the far side. Mason Paul with him. Tries to chip it around the defense, can't do it. Wagner tries to cut it off, and the Hunters pull it back out. Vandenberg back to pick it up. Wagner at the blue line coming back up, trying to send it in deep. Gets it in deep. He gets stood up right at the blue line, and the Voyageurs will try and go after him. Back behind the net, here come the Hunters. Callowitz keeps it in. Blaha tries to send it deep, can't do it. Voyageurs need a change. Jay Wenger with another big save on a shot from the hash marks.
Yeah, once again, Jay is kind of the MVP so far tonight, keeping us in this game, keeping it close. Once again, we also need to get a little bit more control getting out of the zone and heading down and do something on the other end.
It's kind of a one of those. It's a little bit too much one-on-one. Denfeld is moving the puck very well. Voyageurs trying to do a little bit one-on-one. Foth gets beat on the far side. Wenger score! With 14:40 left in the third period. Little bit of a 2-on-1 breakaway. And the Voyageurs will try and regroup one more time. With 14:40 left in the third, it's the Denfeld Hunters 3 and the Voyageurs 2.
Yeah, that one was asking a little bit too much out of Jay. They had pretty nice passing back and forth there to get Jay out of position just enough to get that one in.
Capo controls, gains the zone. Denfeld will pick it up and take it back behind the net. Capo on the chase. Eggers can't control. Here comes Denfeld back the other way. Sends it in deep. Foth back to get it. Denfeld picks it up, shoots it back behind the net. Back out to Eggers. Eggers chips out. They get it out back out to center. Denfeld tries to regroup off the boards, and the Voyageurs will go back in and try and get it out one more time. Panzier loses it. They do get it out. No, they do not. They hold it in. Foth back in to get it. He'll go back around the net. Loses his balance. Sends it back over to Panzier. Panzier can't control the pass. And the Hunters are back in on Wenger one more time. Got two men out in front of Wenger. Blocked out front. Capo has a chance. Shoots it up. Eggers can't quite control it. It is on net. And the Hunter goalie will cover.
Pretty close opportunity there. It was just a slightly off of Charlie's stick. A little bit more English on that one. Charlie might have had a good opportunity.
And you don't see Eggers miss too many of those when he does get them. Face off to the glove side of the Hunters goalie. The Hunters chipping it out, do get it out, and here come the Hunters. They chip it in deep and will chase and will gather back behind the Voyager net. Back out to their defense, shoots it back in deep. Coming around, Wagner will pick it up, has a chance. Blaha is behind everybody, but they couldn't get it to him. Blaha, Alec Klein picks it up, gets it back in, and we got a chance for Mason Paul. Shot, he shoots it wide. Can't get it back out to Alec Klein. And Denfeld will pick it back up, and they let him out from behind their net. Here comes Denfeld back the other way. Denfeld with a chance, gets the break. Jay Wenger poke checks it away, and we're going to have a penalty on Daniel Wagner for a hook. At 12:51 left in the third period, Wagner with a hook. And Denfeld will go on the power play.
Another nice play by Jay Wenger there, poking that puck away from the Denfeld attacker. We had a good couple opportunities prior to that with Alec Klein trying to hit Peter Blaha. Kind of made the pass without looking before he got it up to him, and Mason Paul found himself with the puck on a turnover in our zone. Just shot a little bit wide.
Denfeld controls into the Pier's end with their power play unit. This is going to be a big penalty kill right here if they can pull it off, Brett.
Absolutely. It's one of those deals where you're going to run out of time if we let them get ahead by too much here.
A good chance right there, and looks like we got a penalty on Denfeld right here. Denfeld penalty for a hook. Great chance right there for the Voyageurs as Charlie Eggers picked it up, tried to get it across to Capo. Capo just out of Capo's reach. And now we'll go 4-on-4 for 1:35 and then an abbreviated De Pere Voyager penalty for about 25 seconds.
It's one good way to kill the penalty there, that's for sure.
Voyageurs on 4-on-4 going with Eggers and Newton on offense. Tridiba and Panzier on defense. And the Hunters ice the puck. There'll be a face-off to the stick side of the Hunter goalie, and that icing is brought to you by River City Ice. Face-off, Charlie Eggers can't control, back around the net. Denfeld comes back out, they will break it out, and here comes Denfeld back the other way, tries to get it over to the far side. He shoots it in deep, wraps it around. Denfeld will control, no, Panzier controls. Can't get it out. Denfeld back to their defense. Shot! And a goal. Late call by the referee.
Yeah, that one almost looked like it came off the pipe, but unfortunately I didn't hear the pipe, so it must have come off of the net.
Yeah, I saw net move on that, Brett. And that's a big goal for Denfeld as they take a 2-goal lead. With 11:55 left in the third period, it's the Denfeld Hunters 4, the De Pere Voyageurs 2, and the Voyageurs have to regroup here, and they have to do it very quickly as it's still 4-on-4 for another 1:04 seconds. Denfeld controls, goes D to D, tries to shoot it up. Mason Paul knocks it away. Vandalis will come back and try and get it. Vandalis can't control. Mason Paul back. Now Vandalis does control, and he's going to come up. Coming up the near side. Vandalis looking back over to Vandenberg. Vandenberg taking it up. Chips it up off the boards. Can't control. Denfeld shoots it back in. Jay Wenger plays it. Here, Vandalis coming up the near side, looking back over to Vandenberg. Vandenberg going to pull it back out of the zone. Back to Vandalis. Vandalis shoots it up to Mason Paul. He's going to control the zone. Tries to get around the Denfeld defense, can't. Goes D to D one more time for the Hunters. Now they break it out, and here comes Denfeld back the other way. Tried to poke check by Blaha, can't do it. Now he gained control. He shoots it back around the net. Vandalis back to get it. There's a big hit back behind the boards, and here comes Mason Paul, and the Voyageurs are full straight. Can't get around the defense. And they're going to just ice it back down the zone. We got a whistle here.
I think it went off with somebody on the bench there for Duluth.
So with 10:41 left in the third period, we have a 15 seconds left on the Voyager power play with a face-off to the glove side, the left side of the Hunter goalie. Tanner Newton can't control. And Denfeld will just shoot it down the ice. Wenger tries to play it quickly up to Panzier. Panzier taking it back behind the net over to Tridiba. Tridiba gains control. Shoots it off the goalie.
The ref.
Excuse me, thank you, Brett. Off the referee's skates.
I don't know why that's an icing. I thought the ref was part of the game there, wasn't he?
Yeah, I don't think that's the way that one goes, Brett.
All right. Trying to get any advantage I can right now.
That's going to be a face-off. It's going to be a face-off to the stick side of Jay Wenger with 10:23 left. 5-on-5 hockey. Denfeld controls. Shot saved by Wenger. Capo gains control, chips out. Charlie Eggers gets there, finally does pick it up. Charlie Eggers around the goalie, can't get around the defense, can't pick it back up. And you got Tanner Newton back, cycling back behind Charlie Eggers, back in the corner. Controlled. Newton picks it back up. And sends it back in deep, back behind the net. Voyageurs try and chase again. Kopp will poke check away. Knocks it back up. Eggers gathers back behind the net. Kopp will pick it back up. Can't get it over to Fulth, who's creeping in. And here comes Denfeld. And Fulth knocks it away. And here come the Voyageurs back the other way. Charlie Eggers tries to get it in deep, can't. And Denfeld picks it back up. Here comes Denfeld. Big time poke check by Tridaba on Wenger. They're going to knock that one away. Fulth back behind the net. Here comes Fulth. Tries to get it out to Calwerts. Calwerts can't handle it. Goes back down the ice. And the Voyageurs chase, waving. Icing is waved off. Here comes Denfeld back. Calwerts with a poke check. Can't control. Got Wagner and Vandenberg. And there's a big shot off the pipe. Saved by Wenger. The puck's still loose. Knocked away. Big time help from the defense. Back around the net. And we're going to have a penalty. Looks like a penalty on DePere. Not sure what that one was for. We have a cross check on Jack Dose for DePere. With 8:48 left in the third period. That's a big 2-minute penalty right there, Brett.
Yeah, unfortunately, chewing up 25% of what's left in this game is not going to help our chances to get a couple more back here.
I didn't see the cross check, but
there was a lot going on down there in front of Jay. It could have been just about anything.
Face off to the stick side of Wenger. Tanner Newton gathers, does get it out to center ice. The Hunters will gather it and put it back deep into the corner again. Vandenberg can't get it out of the zone, back out to the Hunter defense. And the Hunters will set up their power play one more time. Back across Wenger. Really nice play for a goal by the Hunters. That goal by number 16, the Hunter captain, which makes it 5-2.
That one's going to hurt. Got a lot of real estate to make up here, and 8 minutes and 23 seconds left in this game. We're going to have a change around here like we did in the second period where we start turning it on. We're letting them kind of dictate the game right now.
With 8:23 left in the third period, the Hunters have a 5-2 lead. Tries to get a shot. Mason Paul tries to get a shot. Panzier poke checks it away. The Hunters get it back out. Vandelis regroups back in his own zone and shoots it back out. And we got an offside, delayed offsides on the Hunters. Panzier just shoots it back out, can't control, and the Hunters go back, send it back in deep one more time. Chipped out of the zone, and the Voyageurs just can't get control for to mount any sort of attack.
Yeah, I got nothing to add to that, Kurt. It's becoming repetitious here, unfortunately. Hopefully we can get something going.
The Voyageurs sending out their third line with Calwerts, Dose, and Borseth, Panzier, and Vandelis on defense. And once again, Denfeld controls the puck. Defense, shot, and a save by Jay Wenger. Jay Wenger has been big in goal for the Voyageurs tonight.
Most definitely. It should have been 5-2 at the end of the second period. Jay definitely did a great job during that period. Unfortunately, this period is just proving to be a little bit too much.
Borseth controls on the far side. Skating up quickly, Borseth chips it in deep. The Hunter goalie chips it off to the corner, and here comes Denfeld back the other way one more time. Gain control of the zone on the far side, off Panzier. Denfeld controls back behind the net. Out in front, shot blocked out front. Borseth does get it chipped out. Borseth on the chase. And Denfeld will shoot it back in one more time. Vandelis trying to gain control. Can't get it chipped out this time. Dose gets it chipped out, and he's going to try and get a change. You got Newton, Eggers, Borseth on the front line. Borseth controls, can't get it out. Panzier chips it out. And they're going to try and, Denfeld will try and regroup. Wenger, big time little side note there. Charlie Eggers coming up the near side, gets chipped off of it. Daniel Wagner kicks it back in, but that's going to be an icing. That icing brought to you by River City Ice, And with 6:34 left in the third, it's still Denfeld 5, De Pere 2. Shots on goal through this point in the game, 32 for Denfeld, 20 for De Pere. Denfeld, another shot blocked out front. There could be a lot more shots here in this game, Brett, without all the blocks out in front.
Yeah, David Vandenberg did a nice job going down to a knee there to knock that shot down.
And we got an icing on Denfeld here. That's going to be a face-off in the Denfeld zone to the glove side of the Denfeld goalie with 6:13. We're going to need at least one here in the next minute, 13 seconds, in my opinion, Brett.
Absolutely. A nice quick goal here would really change the tempo of this game. After you get one, then all of a sudden you're just within one more of just almost anything being able to happen. So it'd be nice to hold the zone here for a little while and get some offensive opportunities.
And just as you said it, they couldn't hold the zone, having offsides on De Pere. We got Foth and Panzier on defense. Blaha, Paul, and Tritaba on the attack. Face-off is one, controlled by Denfeld. Peter Blaha on it. Foth chips it back out, and here come the Voyageurs back, and it's shot in deep. Mason Paul on the attack. Denfeld. Paul back out front, can't get it chipped out front. Paul still trying to work behind the net. And here come the Hunters back the other way. And good chance there, wrapped away. Foles shoots it up the side. Peter Blaha can't quite get there. And Denfeld shoots it back in deep. Foles back behind the net. Coming up strong. Tries to chip it to Tritaba. They do get it out of the zone, but can't control it out in the zone, and Denfeld chips it back in. Panzier back behind the net. He shoots it back out, and they're going to send it back in. Here comes Tanner Newton. Newton up to Eggers, who chips it in deep. Voyageurs get a change. They have their front line back out. There goes the defense off for the Voyageurs. And here come the Hunters one more time. Voyageurs can't hold the zone. Van List up to Capo. Capo, shot and a save.
That was that opportunity we were looking for, and he nearly got it there.
Back out in front, Capo with another shot blocked out in front. Capo back behind the net, looking. Capo, the Voyager leading scorer, gets it back over to, it looks like Charlie Eggers, back to Capo. Capo kicks it up to Eggers. Capo back on it. Back out to Eggers. Gets around. Can't quite get around. Calawerts can't get there. And here come the Voyageurs. Tommy Vandelis with a nice check right there. Poke check. Shot. Save. Goal! Sam Calawerts with a big-time goal right there on a rebound goal. I think that'll go Calawerts from Capo with 4:14 left in the third period. The De Pere Voyageurs cut it to a 2-goal game. And it's the Hunters 5, De Pere Voyageurs 3.
Definitely the opportunity we were looking and hoping for there. Took a little bit longer than what we were hoping to see, but now we're definitely within striking distance. So 2 goals can be made up. That's not quite the same as having a 3-goal deficit. And Duluth's game this last couple of minutes has just been dumping the puck back in, trying to chew up puck. So if we can keep it down in our zone a little bit longer like we just did there, that's obviously the route we need to go. Duluth, or JP, I think, took a timeout, didn't he there, Kurt?
Yeah, De Pere timeout right there, so we'll have a little bit of time to catch our breath. Once again, tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Load Shop. Do you want full visibility to your freight rates and to cut out the high broker rates? Sign up for Load Shop at www.loadshop.com. Welcome to Trucking with Transparency. Welcome to Load Shop. With 4:14 left in the third period here in Duluth, Minnesota, it's the Denfeld Hunters 5, the De Pere Voyageurs 3, but the Voyageurs have just cut it to a 2-goal lead. Trying to regroup here real quick and get rolling one more time. Voyageurs control. Blaha controls it, puts in the zone, gets it in deep. Alec Klein back. Blaha pulls it out, tries to get it over to Mason Paul. Can't. There's over to Klein. He can't control. Klein back in the corner. Blaha with a big hit, standing him up, but here come the Hunters back out. Panzier knocks off one of the attackers off. And we have a De Pere penalty for elbowing Peter Blaha with an elbow, a 2-minute minor, and that's a big problem for De Pere with only 3 minutes and 49 seconds left.
Yeah, we were just starting to get some momentum going too with controlling some face-offs and getting the puck in our zone there, and that unfortunately is putting a damper on that. Duluth takes a timeout now.
Timeout, Duluth with 3:49 left in the third period, but the Voyageurs have a 2-minute minor penalty to kill off. And that's going to be a tough thing to handle here.
Yeah, it's just I thought the
Voyageurs trying to regroup here.
it must be that's all I saw.
And get everything rolling one more time, but they're going to have a face-off from Jay Wenger's stick side, his left side, or excuse me, the right side of Jay Wenger. Here to start. They're going to need to control the puck and do a good job killing this off. Probably one of the best power penalty kill people that De Pere have is out on the ice in Charlie Eggers. That young man can kill off a penalty.
Yeah, single-handedly for sure. He can just sit behind the net with the puck and do it all on his own. And Jay's coming off. Well, no, he's not. So Capo was talking about getting Jay off the ice.
We got a high stick on Denfeld with 3:34 left. And
So
John Capo is going to pull Jay Wenger right now with 3:34 left here in this game. Might be a little early, Brett, but we'll see how that plays out.
Well, 5-on-5 here. We got to hold the zone, that's for sure.
And they can't right away. And here comes Denfeld back, and it's going to go wide. Big break for the Voyageurs right there, back behind the net. The Hunters do control back behind the net. Voyageurs scrambling here a little bit. The Hunters playing catch. They can't get it out in front. There's a block shot out front. Here come the Voyageurs back the other way. That's exactly what they needed right there. Charlie Eggers down the near side, going back behind the net. Charlie loses control momentarily back behind the net. He does have control once again. Charlie Eggers, stuff shot, no! And it's held up by the Denfeld goalie. Good pressure there with 2:46 left and 58 seconds left on the Voyager penalty.
Be nice to get a quick Charlie was coming off the ice, and now he turned around to head back out there. He looked like he could have used a break, but he's much more valuable, needed on the ice.
Not exactly sure why the ref pulled one guy back out and let the other three go. Triple a shot and a save. Another shot on the rebound, and here comes Denfeld back. That's going to get past Wenger. Mason Paul back in, and that's an ice on Denfeld. Forgot that it's still 5-on-5, but forgot that they are on the penalty kill or the power play right now. They can't ice it.
That's very fortunate. Any opportunities we have to bring the puck back down to this end is great right now.
46 seconds left on the 2-minute minor penalty to Blaha. with 2:34 left in the third period. It's Denfeld 5, the Voyageurs 3. Denfeld chips it out. Tredaba tries to go D to D. Denfeld picks it up, and here comes Tredaba. Here comes the Hunters back. Voyageurs chasing as Denfeld's trying to get it back into the De Pere zone. And De Pere is with an empty net here. And Tredaba has a chance if he turns on the Jets right here, right now. Tredaba circling, shot, and the save. Tredaba back in behind the net. There's out in front. Great centering pass. Newton can't control. Wagner can't. Tredaba can't. Mason Paul with a shot and a save.
Well, that was a good flurry of activity there, and Grant Tredaba almost had an opportunity, but he was going 1-on-2. Made it a little bit more difficult to get a nice clear shot on the goalie there.
Voyageurs. Voyageurs with 2 seconds left on the penalty kill with 1:51 left in this game. Klein can't get it controlled, and the Hunters will control. The Voyageurs are full strength. Peter Blaha gets it chipped around. Panzier, nice play right there to get it back the other way. Charlie Eggers kicks it around. He's got Alec Klein on the other side. Can't get it over to him. Charlie Eggers back behind the net. Alec Klein gains control. Panzier with a shot blocked out front. Alec Klein gathers. Back out front. Can't get it out front to Blaha. Klein shoots it across. Charlie Eggers can't gather it. Back behind, and the Voyageurs are putting on some pressure with 1:17 left in this game. Panzier over to Vandalist. Vandalist down to Alec Klein. Can't get it out front. Now he chips it out front. And here comes Denfeld back the other way.
With that empty net, this is trouble possibly.
And it's off the puck. The Voyageurs get a break with 1 minute left in the game. Charlie Eggers controlling. Gets it out front. Here comes Denfeld back again. Panzier gathers, regroups, gets it across to Charlie Eggers one more time. Can't get it in deep. Vandalist gathers with 35 seconds left in the game. Alec Klein tries to chip it. Voyageurs were getting a change. They can't. Vandalist chips it back out. Capo gathers, goes back behind the net with 20. Back out front, can't get it there. Klein, Panzier blocked out front. With 15 left, Vandalist blocked out front again, and he gets it chipped out with 10 seconds left. There's a shot by Tredaba that's saved. 5 left. And that's going to end it right there with the final score tonight. Denfeld Hunters 5, the De Pere Voyageurs 3.
That was a good flurry of activity. Unfortunately, we just ran out a little bit of time on the clock there tonight. If we had that intensity going that whole period, that might have been a little bit of a different story, but a little bit too little too late, unfortunately, tonight.
Yeah, I'd agree, Brett. They came out a little flat in the third, got back behind, and just could not catch back up. Denfeld, a very good Denfeld team. Should move them to 6-2 on the year for Denfeld. The De Pere Voyageurs will fall to 5-3, but it's a good game right there for the Voyageurs.
Absolutely. It's nice to have that competition level and learn how to go hard. Make sure that they're ready to go tomorrow. We play again tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock, it looks like.
Yeah, so we'll be back on the air tomorrow evening, tomorrow afternoon from Duluth, Minnesota, and the Heritage Sports Complex at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm not sure who the Voyageurs will be playing yet, but we will be back here bringing you the call from the Heritage Sports Complex. Third period at the end of the game. The shots on goal, Denfeld Hunters had 32 shots on goal. The De Pere Voyageurs had 28. They made up some ground there, but they couldn't make it up on the scoreboard. And at the end of the game, it comes down to the Denfeld Hunters beating the De Pere Voyageurs 5-3.
Nice.
Until tomorrow at 2 o'clock, this is Kurt Foth and Brett Thom. We thank you for joining us.
Good job,
From-
Kurt. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Brett. We'll see you tomorrow from the Heritage Sports Complex at 2 o'clock is the next De Pere Voyager game. Once again, the final in today's game is the Denfeld Hunters 5, the De Pere Voyageurs 3. Thank you very much, and Merry Christmas, everyone.